bum, 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 bum. How's that go?
That was pretty good.
That was a jam.
Yeah, no.
That was a jam and a half.
Welcome, everybody, to Two Brain Cells Sports. I am your host, Darren Funk, and sitting next to me is the co-host, Nathaniel Ati. Love that name. We are here to talk about sports with you today. And the first topic on this lovely evening is that the NFL has now created new overtime rules. And we would like to discuss about how we feel about those and what we think the future of the game could be at store. So, Nathan, how do you feel about these new overtime rules? Is it going to be a significant change, or will the overtime just stay relatively as it is?
That's a good point. I like the rules, the new rule, for the playoffs. But it just feels like it's the same outcome, just with different steps, more steps. You know what I mean? Like in that Bills Chiefs game, it was whoever won that coin toss won the game, basically. You know what I mean? No team could stop a defense, so they both get possession, but then the next score wins. So
what you're saying is everybody complained with the Bills and Chiefs, saying that whoever won the coin toss was going to win the game, and that panned out to be true. And your thinking is that the Chiefs went down and scored.
They would have scored again.
You're saying the Bills would have just went down and scored, and then the Chiefs would have just gotten the ball back and scored right back. So nothing would have even changed with that.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that thought, but what happens when it's a defensive slugfest?
Just next, if an offense can score, an offense scores.
Okay, so you don't think that the game will be impacted as much, other than it will just drag on the game farther and longer.
And the fans will stop complaining about the overtime rules more.
So in hindsight, do we think we'll look back at this moment and just think they only did it so the fans would stop complaining about the fans and the players? Because we know some of the players have also complained about such things.
A little, but there's a way you can, if you don't win that coin toss, you can still win the game on your first possession. Go for two. You know? You can either win it or lose it. Like, if they go down and score, and then you go right back down and score, and they kick the extra point, you can just go for two. You can win it.
The other team will not get the ball back then?
I don't think, no.
Yes, because the rules state that if it's tied at the end of that, then it's next possession. I didn't even think about that. You could go for two. How many teams do you think would do that? Would it be away teams? Or would it be the fact that in the Chiefs-Bills situation, as we stated earlier, the Bills would have gone for two, knowing that their defense most likely would not stop Mahomes and the Chiefs?
Yeah, I think you would have to do it like that. Because I don't think the Chiefs would have gone for two there. So much risk if they got the ball first, went down and scored and went for two. Because then, the team, all they got to do is go down and kick an extra point to win the game and move on. And you just can't let that happen.
One thought I'm having right now is in overtime right now for the NFL, in college, when it becomes overtime, teams want to be on defense first, but in the NFL, teams want to be on offense. Will NFL teams start wanting to be on defense at the beginning, knowing that if they can hold that team to a field goal, they will still get the ball back, and even if that team scores a touchdown, they can still get the ball back, then have an opportunity to go for two and win it outright there? Or will it be they want to put pressure on the opposing offense by them kicking a field goal first, which then forces the offense? Because to me, I think teams might want to start being on defense at the start of these overtime rules if they are willing to go for 2.
There's a lot of factors in that. Depends how much you trust your defense.
That is true.
It's an offensive league. You know what I mean? So many penalties, so many things that go against the defense make it easier on the offense. But if you don't, they do score a touchdown, then your offense got a lot of pressure on itself. You know what I mean? If I'm the 49ers, I'm gonna send the defense out. You know what I mean? If Jimmy G's the quarterback. If I'm the Bills or the Chiefs, I'm sending the offense out. I want them to have the ball.
You want them to score first and then put pressure on the opposing team?
Yeah.
Okay. For what reason, though? If you're the Chiefs in this situation and they got the ball first, why would you want them to score first? And then having the fear that your defense would not be able to stop the Bills, and then you would lose on 2-point conversion, and next thing you know, the Bills are going to the AFC Championship.
I think that you just gotta let your playmakers go out there and play. You can't just you know what I mean. Like, you gotta get out. You gotta let them out there. You gotta put the ball in your best player's hands, right? So if it's down to the line like that, I'd rather it be in Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes' hand to go score first than the defense to stop a score.
Okay. And let's get one thing straight right here. This is just for overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Or, my apologies. This is just for postseason.
Yeah.
Playoffs. So everything we know about the overtime rules as of now will just stay the exact same in the regular season.
Yeah.
Will the NFL have pushback from fans and players? Because they'll be in the postseason now. Nobody even likes the overtime rules in the regular season. So will they try to change it in the regular season, or will the NFL look at it and just be fine with ties and upset fans? Because there won't be as many upset fans as there are once the playoffs start.
I think there's not much pushback right now for the regular season because there's a lot of games that don't matter in the regular season, and a tie is better than a loss, no matter what. It's not as good as a win, but it can still put you in the playoffs.
You think it's more for the playoffs because there can't be a tie?
There can't be a tie, and it's way bigger. You know what I mean?
Way bigger stage. Absolutely. No, I understand that completely. Speaking about bigger stages, though, we are towards the end of March Madness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just want to get a couple of your thoughts about what you have seen so far throughout March Madness. I know you are a big fan, as many across the nation is, for the Peacocks and Doug. They had a miracle run, first 15 seed to make the Elite Eight, and they are the lowest seed to ever make the Elite Eight, as we've only had one 16 seed ever make it out of the first round as well, as UMBC did in 2018. But what I'm getting at here is I want to know your thoughts on what we've already witnessed in March Madness, and I want to know your predictions for what is to come as we are in the Final Four stages. The next games are going to be played on Saturday, I believe.
And then Monday is the championship.
Down in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Louisiana, baby. So, let's get your thoughts on what you have watched and witnessed so far throughout the entirety of March Madness.
I'm devastated. Can't believe they lost. The Peacocks. Run over. Lost by, 20 points?
It was 69-49.
Disgusting. Just terrible. Who's left? You got KU versus Villanova.
So you have number 1 seed Kansas,
Yeah.
who has faced 16, a 9, a 4, and a 10.
Yeah.
And they are the only
Number 1 seed.
number 1 seed to even make it to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
Which is very impressive. I saw a stat on, I want to say CBS. I could be wrong on that one, though. Maybe it was TBS. But if KU would have lost to Providence, a game in which they only won by 5, then this would have been the first time in NCAA tournament history that a number 1 seed did not make it to the Elite Eight.
That's crazy.
So that is how crazy March Madness has been so far. But you have number 1 Kansas battling number 2 Villanova. They have beaten a 15 seed, a 7 seed, an 11 seed, and a 5 seed. So honestly, looking at this now, Villanova and Kansas have had most likely the 2 easiest paths to get. They don't seem like they've beaten tough competition. I say tough, but I've also heard that Houston could have been a higher seed in most places as they were a 5 seed. Then you have the ACC rivalry for the ages. This is the first time they're ever going to play each other in the NCAA tournament, I believe, and they will be playing each other in the Final Four, and that is Duke and North Carolina.
Yeah.
And Duke is the number 2 seed, beating a 15, 7, 3, and 4.
Okay.
So that is a pretty good teams that they've faced so far. North Carolina, on the other hand, is an 8 seed who has beaten a 9 seed, the number 1 seed in overtime, a game in which they also blew a 25-point lead in the second half, but still pulled it out in overtime. A number 4 seed in UCLA that actually went to the national championship. No, my apologies. They lost on a buzzer beater in the Final Four last year to Gonzaga. And they're number 4 seed. And then they demolished the number 15, St. Peter's. So, who do you have playing in the championship on Monday night?
I mean, just how spite of the Peacocks when Duke's making it over. Was it
North Carolina.
North Carolina? Yeah.
It is also Coach K's last season. So this is his final hurrah.
Mm-hmm.
His last dance.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
So you've got Duke, the number 2 seed, moving on against their rival that they are only about 10 minutes apart in North Carolina. That's a fun fact for you also. Yeah, you don't look too happy about that. But you got Duke. Who's meeting Duke on Monday night?
I ain't got a clue.
It's Villanova or Kansas.
I just don't like Kansas free throw shooting.
They
Have not been good.
I didn't watch a lot of the Providence or Miami game, but
They were not good.
they were not good in
shooting
either
the
one of
free-
those.
The free throws.
So you think free throws might lose it for Kansas, or will they just have enough shooting willpower to get past Villanova?
You know what? They got enough willpower, shooting willpower. They're just going to somehow manage it. They managed against Miami.
That is true.
I was looking bad.
They were down at halftime, and they ran away with that game in the second half to win by 26 comfortably.
Yeah.
So, Miami, Kansas has had 2 tough games so far with Creighton and then Providence. And then Villanova so far has had a 20-point game, a 10-point game, an 8-point game, and then a 6-point game. So their margin of victory has slowly dwindled as this tournament's gone along, but they still have, if we go off of their margin of victory, they still have 6 points to play with here.
It just seems like there's 2 top seeds just struggling against lower seeds in this March Madness in those 2.
I agree. They do seem to have the easiest pathway with the number one seed Arizona losing to Houston in Villanova's side, and then the number 2 seed Auburn losing to Miami in Kansas's side. And both number 3 seeds losing to number 11 seeds in the second round also. But you're saying Kansas. Final answer?
Yeah.
So now it is Bill Self versus Coach K. In Coach K's final game as a Duke Blue Devil. And Bill Self has a lifetime contract, so who knows how many more years he will go.
That's tough. I just never trust Kansas, really, in any scenario. You know, it seems like they struggle, get past the A. They're in the Final Four this year. Who saw that coming? I'm going to go Duke. They win it all.
Duke's win it all?
Yeah.
Okay. I respect that. Do you have a score prediction at all? Is this going to be a high-scoring game? Is this going to be a low-scoring defensive slugfest?
High scoring.
I agree with that. Kansas has not proven that they've had a great defense. Maybe they will prove us wrong, but I just haven't seen it out of them this entirety of the year. Duke, on the other hand, I can't say whether or not they have a defense, but they've given up 2 70-point games and 2 60-point games throughout this tournament. So I am unsure on how that will go. But the Duke Blue Devils come Monday night. They're winning it all?
Yep.
Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to say about this entirety of March Madness? Do you want to talk about your St. Peter's team that you cried over?
I was heartbroken.
Yeah? Did you watch the game?
No, I saw the score because I forgot it came on, and I looked and I was like, this is just gonna break me emotionally.
Emotionally?
Yeah, it was broken man.
Okay. Anyways,
I cried myself to sleep.
You had all evening to get over that pain for a team that you didn't know existed till what?
Didn't get it.
3 weeks ago?
It hurt too much.
No, 2 weeks ago.
It was
You
too much
did
pain.
not know they existed 2 weeks ago. And then you probably also cursed when you saw Kentucky lost. So, they really got to your heart and soul, didn't they?
They did.
You sent me something the other day that got me reminded of this.
I
You
sent
don't
you a lot of
even. You
things.
send me a lot of things. Yes, you
I
do.
have no clue what you're
This is
talking
sports related though, and it has to deal with the Major League Baseball.
about. Oh, yeah.
So, my question is, do you know when their start date is? I'm trying to pull that up right now.
I'm gonna guess April 7th.
April 7th? Is that, you know that for...
I think I know that for a fact.
Know that for a fact?
I think so.
I can take your word on that, but let's just hope you're right. So, it is April 7th, is what you're saying.
I could be totally wrong.
This is saying that it starts tomorrow, March 31st.
I'm just totally wrong.
I looked up when does MLB season start 2022, and it says it begins Thursday, March 21st. So little did we know, we've got opening day coming up tomorrow as we are recording this podcast right now on Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about that? You've got a favorite for the season? Do you know anything much about MLB at all? We haven't talked about this too much.
That's a question.
So no, I take it.
No.
As a no. Well, you pulled this up. This is still saying April 1st, at least for the Kansas City Royals. What do I know? I know nothing. Thank you, Internet. I am sorry, everybody. All right, well, at least the Kansas City Royals
Sure, April 7th.
start April 7th,
Thursday.
which is next Thursday.
Yeah.
Next Thursday. But you don't know enough about MLB teams to give me a prediction. Last season we had the Houston Astros, the America's darlings.
Oh, yeah. Everyone loves them.
That's sarcasm right there. We had them face off against the actual America's darlings because they weren't the Houston Astros, but the Atlanta Braves.
Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, what do you think about Freddie Freeman?
I'm sad.
He's
not with the Braves anymore.
He's on the Dodgers now.
It saddens me, upsets me.
Why?
I hate the Dodgers.
Can I get your biased opinion? Because to our listeners out there, Nathaniel, he is a Chargers fan.
Yeah.
And I know in his heart they're in San Diego.
Yeah, forever.
But right now they are in LA.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe he might pick a team, at least that he doesn't hate, would be the LA Dodgers or the Angels.
No.
No? So my question is, why? Why do you hate the LA Dodgers?
Why do I hate the Dodgers?
Yes.
I don't know. They just seem... I just don't like... So many things I don't like about them. I don't like their uniforms.
Oh, those
I think they're
clean
bad.
uniforms.
Hate them.
Those... Okay.
And I'm tired of them
What else?
winning things.
They
get all the good players. That's what they've been doing.
They have a lot of money.
Tired of it. Tired of seeing it.
Money ball back in the early 2000s. That seemed like it might have changed.
I'm more of an
Cap
A's fan
space,
than a
but-
Dodgers fan.
And Oakland A's?
I'm more of an A's fan
You
than
are
a
a-
Dodgers fan.
Kansas City Chiefs? Not
Royals.
Chiefs. Royals. I
Royals.
apologize. You don't like the Chiefs.
They can.
Nope. Keep it PG. But you like the Oakland A's more.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say the Dodgers have arguably one of the best lineups in MLB right now.
I hate it.
They've got Will Smith catching. That's a whole different story. Not the Will Smith everybody is thinking of. No, this Will Smith did not win the Oscar, and amongst other things that he did at the Oscars. But we're getting off track here.
He
This is
could
a
be a good
sports
actor.
podcast. Who could be a good
The
actor?
catcher, Will Smith.
Oh yeah,
Dodgers catcher. You think he could be a good actor?
I don't know his personality.
We should throw him in an acting job.
I think should we ask him?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way we can ask him how he feels about Will Smith right now? Not him, Will Smith, but the other Will Smith.
We could probably DM him.
Okay, I'll let you get on that, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if he's heard that already.
Yeah, most definitely. Not an original thought.
But we're a sports podcast here, and we don't want to get into politics that doesn't involve sports at all. So let's get back into it. I mean, we're watching ESPN, guys, and I don't want to name too many places, but they're giving their input on this Oscar performance, and I've seen comments on it just saying they need to stick to sports like their programming is. So
I'm gonna be honest. Will Smith, best actor.
he did win an Oscars.
Best actor.
Getting back to the baseball Will Smith,
Yes. There's two of them.
the Dodger baseball catcher Will Smith. So they've got Will Smith at catching.
Yes.
He's a pretty good player. Let's
Yeah.
be honest here. They've got Cody Bellinger at first base.
I thought he played outfield. When did he switch to...
He's both.
Okay.
I think he's become more of a first baseman,
Okay.
but he's been in the outfield before. You have Justin Turner at third base,
Yeah.
who is a pretty darn good player.
Mm-hmm.
When Bellinger isn't at first, you have Max Muncy, who I believe also can DH. And that's the other.
Universal DH.
Universal DH is becoming this year. We will not see pitchers unless you're Shohei Ohtani.
This also saddens me.
The no pitchers?
Yeah. I want to see a home run by a pitcher. That's not Shohei.
You know what one of my favorite videos to watch on that is?
What?
It is... Can you guess it?
No, I can't.
A pitcher hitting a home run?
Yeah.
No clue? Bartolo Colon?
Yeah.
There you go.
He smashed that thing.
That was... I have seen breakdowns on it. I have seen breakdowns on it that this guy just swung at anything and everything.
It's fun for the game.
And it is fun because when they do get hits, it's so amazing. Now, I know I'm sticking on the Dodgers, but if I can remember right, Clayton Kershaw is also a pretty good hitter. But we're not.
They have a good bunting step. Like they're good at
exactly. But Bartolo Colon, he was such a character
Beautiful.
that when he hit that home run
I love that man.
on the Padres, he was playing for the Mets,
I love that man.
Hit it against the Padres. But that was I just love that video. Just the way it happened. He's swinging out of his shoes because the man's a pitcher. I don't even want to know what his career batting average is.
I'd be swinging anything and everything. It could be a mile off.
Why wouldn't you? If you're the pitcher,
give me out there as quickly as possible. Maybe I'll make contact.
If you were the pitcher who gave up that home run, I believe that was Shields, who ended up playing on the Royals a couple years later, or it was before. But if you were Shields, how embarrassed do you feel? I think the fact that he's given it up before, and he's an athlete, that it didn't really faze him too much.
Yeah.
But that's still gotta be.
You just gotta give you a smile on your face no matter what.
Yeah, you just gotta
laugh at it. Like,
it's gotta be the what the heck did I just do?
Yeah.
And of course he's probably upset because he did just give up a home run.
Yeah.
So that's an earned run on his part, and stats are everything when it comes to contract extensions these days. But you haven't answered my original question.
What was the original question?
Who is your favorite to win the World Series? He's thinking. He's got a weird face while thinking.
Rays.
The Tampa Bay Rays.
Yes.
For what reason, please? I have my thoughts on the Tampa Bay Rays, but I would like to just know your thinking on it.
I like them. I just like them. I think they got good pitching staff. I think they're just good.
Okay.
You? What do you think?
They win games. I personally do not like the Tampa Bay Rays, and let me tell you why. To me, they are ruining the starting pitching of baseball. I personally am one who loves seeing a starter go into the seventh inning.
You don't love the opener?
That
was revolutionary.
Absolutely hate the opener.
Oh, no. No.
I cannot stand the opener. I love good, old-fashioned baseball. to where the pitcher is going 7, 8, 9 innings.
Let me just tell you something. This is why baseball is not fun anymore. People like you. It's got to go back to the original baseball, how it was. No. Keep the opener.
For what why? You're a man who doesn't... You will watch baseball, but you won't sit there and enjoy it to an extent. You cannot sit there and watch it day in and day out, correct?
I'll do it this year.
Okay.
I might do it.
My point, though, is that you just said baseball's not fun anymore. Why is baseball not fun? In your eyes, just your eyes, why is baseball not fun? Let me hear you go on a 20-minute rant about why baseball's not fun, and then I can return the favor for you.
Pitchers are babies.
How? How so?
No, I'm gonna continue.
Okay.
I don't like pitchers, how whiny they are. It's too long, boring. That's just it. Those reasons. Nothing else.
What makes it boring?
It's a lot of downtime. Too much downtime.
Okay.
I just need faster pace stuff. I have a hard time paying attention to that slow. It's not me. It's not my fault.
No, because I think a lot of the general public agrees that it is too slow right now. And one rule that they are instating, because of this entire lockout that went on this offseason, is that they're going to have a pitch clock. So it should speed up. The college level already has a pitch clock. And I have been watching college games, and they seem to be flying by at a quicker rate. Now, there are variables that factor into a slower game. And those are things such as the umpire strike zone, which I know the players also want an automated strike zone. And the reason, for anybody who doesn't know, the reason that umpire strike zones can make the game slower is if it is a tighter strike zone, then you are going to get more walks and you're going to get more pitches per at bat, which thus extends the game even longer. But if the ump's strike zone is wider, just even a little bit wider, then there will be more strikes called, so hitters are more tempted to swing at a pitch and put the ball in play, therefore less pitches are being produced throughout the game. So my point is, with this automated pitch clock, will it be that effective, or do they need to get to the automated strike zone? But then it takes away the human aspect of the game. They already have reviews, which I'm perfectly okay with the reviews, because there are plays that are wrong and the umps call them wrong because the umps can't see the 360 of the base. That is just not human. And I still like a little bit of human aspect of the game. If it speeds up the game and gets more people involved with the game, then do automated strike zones, because then the players know every time this will be a strike, this will not be a strike. But I think whatever they can do to speed up the game to get people with your mindset, which is completely understandable. I don't even like games that go on for 4 hours unless it's a postseason game and it's into the 12th inning. But we just need to get games to speed up a little bit, get them going, and baseball's gone away from that.
Yeah, it needs to be faster.
So are you saying...
There needs to be either not so many... There's a lot of strikeouts, so it's either strikeout or home run or walk. You know what I mean?
So I'm going to come back right at you here, okay? I'm going to attack you in a sense with my words. You said that I'm the problem.
Yeah. You're the problem.
Because I want old baseball to return.
Yeah.
Correct? Then you said the game's too slow. And you followed that up by saying it's either home runs or strikeouts right now. Am I correct? Am I correct on everything that I've said so far?
That's exactly what I said.
I just want you to know. I think you know where I'm going with this. But you said I am the problem because I want the old style of baseball to return. You're laughing right now People can't hear it or see it, but he's laughing right now. The older style of baseball, yes, there were still home runs, but it was a faster-paced game than what we have going on today. Am I right? Yeah. But yet, or people who... Well, I'm sorry. I apologize. What good is an opener?
Because strategy advantages.
Because one thing that is time consuming, they can do all these things to speed up the game, but if they allow a pitching change every inning, that's going to take a long time. It increases the time of the game.
Hear me out. Instead of them walking slowly to the mound, they just run. Full sprint to the mound. As fast as they can.
Then what? Then they still have to warm up.
No warm-ups.
Oh, but then you got a risk of injury. And
it's good.
All
Have them be injured.
Stuff. But then that ruins the game. Don't you understand here, Nathaniel? I just want people to know that I don't see any use in the word of an opener. You should be putting a pitcher out there to go at least 5 innings. A productive 5 innings.
Hear me out. What if no opener, no closer, no relievers, send the one pitcher out there, all 9 innings?
That would be... I don't know how I feel about that. Because on one hand, I did tell you I wanted pitchers to go deep into the game. On the other hand, that's a lot of pitches for some pitchers. Some pitchers are throwing into the hundreds, like pitching 100 pitchers.
Pitches?
Pitching 100 pitches in the 6th inning of a game.
Yeah, they gotta be better.
They do. Yes, they do.
That's on them. If they want to make it for the game alive with 2 arms, gotta be better.
No, I just want MLB, and they're going away from this, but I just want a pitcher to go 5 innings, a reliever to go 3, and then a closer/saver to go 1 or 2 innings.
2? That feels deep.
You just said you wanted a guy to pitch all 9. And now you're saying 2 innings too deep for a closer /saver. I don't know, man. Baseball does need to change. They're losing viewership. They're losing the attention of the young population. And that is a big problem if it wants to remain a high viewing sport. But I also don't agree with your ways of changing it.
They're perfect. No one can tell me they're wrong.
You're wrong.
Nah.
Maybe somebody agrees with you out there. But a pitcher going all 9 innings.
Maker for great television. 200 pitches in 8th inning. How much can his arm take?
Personally, for me, as somebody who has pitched before, I would have loved that. I would not have cared. But I was also throwing a mere 40 miles per hour at that time.
He's just lofting balls up there. They're just hitting.
No, because then that gets into the position of the position players pitching. And I love the fact that position players are having fun while they pitch. Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
Hey, no, you said you wanted to be the good old days. Pitchers, they used to go deep into games.
They did. I love it.
I want them to never switch out.
That's not what I'm saying here.
Be Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson? He's not that old. You know he was in the 90s,
Yeah.
early 2000s?
Yes, it's not that old.
Yeah, that's not that long ago.
No.
Okay.
They went deep in those games.
I was thinking more like the 60s or 70s.
No.
You know, with like Sandy Koufax.
No.
I'm not too caught up on my MLB pitching history, so I apologize to everybody. But I just... A guy like Clayton Kershaw, Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, those are just three big names right there. Blake Snell. Wouldn't you want to go to the ballpark and watch those guys pitch 6 amazing innings and have it all leave the game with a 1 earned run? I don't know about you. I don't know if you like the games where it is 12-11, but I like the games where it's 2-1 and it is a pitching duel, but not with walks and not with strikeouts, where they're getting guys to roll over grounders to the shortstop to turn double plays, or you're having the outfield make amazing diving catches. Those are entertaining. The defense is the entertaining part of the game. I can take a couple of home runs here and there, but personally, that's not for me.
It just depends who's pitching out there. Am I watching Jacob deGrom or am I watching like
Jacob deGrom? That's somebody I forgot to mention. Are you going to go to the ballpark? Are you going to go to Kauffman Stadium, which they're going to get a new stadium, correct? Have you heard about that?
I have not. They better not. They live that stadium. They stay there. It's a beautiful stadium.
I don't think so. I will look it up and then I'll get back to you on that. But why I'm looking it up, would you go to a ball game to watch Jacob deGrom strike out 18 guys and walk 3 other guys?
Yes.
You would? And no balls be put in play?
Yes.
Maybe 18's too high. 12 guys.
Would I watch on TV? No. Would I go? Yes. And no, that's the outcome? Most definitely.
What? But if you don't know it's the outcome, if you just hear Jacob deGrom is pitching,
yeah, I would go.
You would go.
Yeah, I would go.
Because you believe that there might be a ton of strikeouts.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't watch it on TV.
No.
What would make you watch a game on TV?
Nothing. Playoffs.
Playoffs?
World Series. That's all, really, to be honest. I could be doing anything else other than watching baseball.
So?
On TV. I just find it boring.
Okay, so nothing can get you to watch baseball on TV.
Yes.
That is too boring for you.
But nothing will stop me from going to a baseball game. I don't care who's pitching. I don't care how bad the teams are. I would go.
So, you are big. You like watching games live.
Yes.
And I agree. So I am looking this up, and I am seeing articles saying the Kansas City Chiefs considering move away from Arrowhead Stadium. That's on iHeartRadio.
To Kansas, not Missouri.
So the Chiefs are also planning on moving.
Have you heard about that? They're hearing proposals.
Proposals, okay.
From people in Kansas to move to Kansas and play in Kansas instead of Missouri.
Chiefs president says KC is considering a franchise-altering move by Heavy.com. Jackson County, which is in Kansas, will work to keep Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. Wait, is Jackson County in Kansas or Missouri? I'm guessing if it's Jackson County, that's in Missouri.
Yeah.
But there is a Jackson County in Kansas. That's on Fox 4 Kansas City. But then I also saw if the Chiefs and Royals want new stadiums, Kansas City taxpayers need the truth now. That's by the Kansas City Star. So really, I'm hearing more about the Chiefs, I guess, than
the Royals.
But
a couple of years ago, they said that they were thinking about moving it down south, I think. Maybe.
Down south
Yeah.
for the Royals or for the Chiefs?
Yeah, Royals.
So there will be two separate places then. Are you saying the Royals will still be in Missouri then?
I think so, but
The
nothing
Chiefs will be in Kansas City.
concrete. Everything's
Yeah,
far from concrete.
that's
Anything
all
can happen.
speculation. But would you think it was cool if the Chiefs and Royals moved?
No.
Do you like Arrowhead and Kaufman?
I like those right next to each other.
Okay.
You know they. I just think. I just like those two being there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I like when their stadiums are right next to each other.
Not many cities have that.
Yeah.
Am I correct? They're separate.
Yeah, I don't like it when you have to go complete different direction.
No, it isn't like the NFL and the MLB overlap seasons, but
No,
I
sometimes.
agree. Sometimes they do. That's in October, and that's getting into late baseball.
Yeah.
But I agree. So I have found what they want to do, and I am going to show you. And for anybody listening, they can pull it up on their own. But for the Chiefs, it's looking like it will be called the Downtown Kansas City Ballpark on 12th and Cherry. And this is the look of it.
That is disgusting.
That is disgusting. Okay, I kind of thought it was clean, except for the fact that it appears they want to be, I'll show you in a second, but it appears they want to be growing trees or bushes in the stadium on the upper deck down the right field side. I don't know what you think of that.
I hate everything about that. I
That
hope
looks-
it burns. I don't like that.
There is no famous crown out in center field.
That's what you need. You need that crown.
It's looking more like it's a, how would you put that? It's more environment friendly in a way, because if you look at that, you have trees just up in the sky.
I don't like it. I hate it.
It's looking like they have the ballpark, and then
I hate the name. I hate the look. I hate everything about it.
the design as of now. Now the designs can all change and everything like that, but the design as of now looks like you'll also have the clubhouse, hotel. I don't even know what you would call it. I do not know what it is. It appears to have a swimming pool. It's not even connected to the stadium, it appears like. Maybe it's a giant parking garage. I really do not know, people. But it is a separate building that will still be a part of the Chiefs. And it's out behind the outfield. I think that is the right field line. And then I don't know if it'll stretch into center. I encourage everybody to look this up.
Where did you find this?
Where did I find this? I saw it somewhere on Twitter. It's interesting. There's no famous crown again, like I said. If that's the design, it will be a cool design,
No, it's rough.
but it's not for Kansas City and the Chiefs. But
wrong. You have a terrible idea. Just terrible.
Kauffman Stadium is also getting pretty old.
It's a beautiful stadium.
But then again,
Oh, it's
we
massive.
say Kauffman Stadium is getting old. Then you look at Fenway.
Yeah.
You look at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts,
Yeah.
with the Red Sox
I
and
say
the Green Monster, and that's been around since 1912
hear me out.
something.
Bring the Polo Grounds back.
No, not the Polo Grounds. Was that in Detroit? No, I'm gonna look it up.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's in Detroit now. It's probably in New York somewhere. Yeah, New York. I don't know why Detroit. I thought maybe the Detroit Tigers played there.
Now that's a beautiful stadium. You see the outfield?
I do see the outfield.
Imagine trying to cover the outfield.
Was that... I could be wrong here, but was that... Willie Mays that caught that? Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking it up really quick, which is why I went silent. But I wanted to make sure so I wouldn't sound like an absolute idiot.
He ran and caught that thing.
That was an amazing thing. But so the problem with the Polo Grounds today is, have you seen down the lines? It's only at like 170 maybe.
Yeah, I know. That's what's beautiful about it.
That is
It's a beautiful stadium.
I think they don't even have the Polo Grounds anymore.
We bring it back. Rebuild it.
Okay, rebuild it. I was going to say, if I'm correct, they tore it down. That's what Oakland, just have Oakland do that.
Yeah.
In that old football stadium, which is also the baseball stadium, but the Polo Grounds just look like a baseball field in a sense, or a football field in a sense. So just angle the baseball field in a way to make it like that. I don't know. I say keep Kauffman where it is, keep Arrowhead where it is, but if people do that, then the Chiefs, I don't think they have a fan base right now to upgrade. You look at me like I'm weird, but who's going to the...
paying attention. What do you say?
Not Chiefs, the Royals. I apologize. Wow. The Royals don't have a fan base right now to build a whole... they got money. I mean, they're billionaires. But nobody's watching their games.
They just need to be decent again. They've been bad.
They need to just be competitive, I think. Which I think is what
be over 500. That's all we ask.
That's what most fans want from their team. If you're a true sports fan, you just want a competitive team.
Make a push for a wild card spot.
Exactly.
That's all.
Yeah, I just want competitive sporting events. That's what people that don't watch sports and then turn on a game, if it's competitive, they may stick around and watch.
Ooh, how do you think the Giants are going to do without Buster Posey?
I think they'll be fine.
You think so?
He had if I recall, he had a pretty darn good year last year.
Yeah.
But they were young. They still have Crawford, which was there, if I remember right. I'm trying to think.
Where did Chris Bryant go?
Chris Bryant?
Yeah.
He could still be there. I think they'll be okay. They were the best team in baseball.
You think Logan Webb's going to be any good this year? I think that's pitching.
Their pitching might take a step back because it came out of nowhere, but it also may be propelled forward because now they have all that experience under their belts. They've had an entire offseason to enhance what they've done and bring in new components because now they know what to build off of. So, but they're not going, if they are the best team in baseball again this year, I don't think it'll surprise too many people. Everybody expects the Dodgers to, because like we were saying earlier in this podcast, the Dodgers are just so stacked. But personally, I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants come back to back.
Padres, best baseball uniform.
Padres best?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, best uniform.
Are you saying this because of Tatis Jr. and solely because of Tatis Jr.?
No. You gotta love the the yellow and brown. Ugh, it's beautiful. I love it.
Best uniform. That's I don't know if I agree with that, but I also don't know who else it would be. I'm more for the classics. So
Of course you are. Of course you are.
yeah.
You don't like new things.
Yeah, okay.
Old man.
I'll have to ponder on what I think the best baseball. I like Pittsburgh. That pondering went very quick, but I really like Pittsburgh. That old timey.
How about the Rockies uniforms?
The purple.
Yeah.
They're okay. I think I haven't been to their stadium, but from what I've seen, it's pretty nice. That's where the All-Star game was at.
Yeah.
So.
Diamondbacks. They got agency uniforms.
Yeah. The Mariners do.
Mm.
Up in Seattle. I mean, then you got the classics like the Red Sox, Yankees, Cubs, White Sox.
The Braves uniforms a lot.
I cannot picture the Braves, but I can. They're not bad. I like is it an axe that goes through it? I like the axe that goes through it. It's a good symbol for them. Anyways, I think that about wraps up today. We don't want to take up too much of everybody's time, and we don't want to start boring people about everything. So until next time, which should be next week, we will talk to you later.